Hi everyone, my name is Emma. Welcome back to Flavour Fridays. Today I'll be making kimchi pancakes. If you like our channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button. So today we're making kimchi pancakes, which is one of my favorite weeknight meals. The star of this dish is really the kimchi. Now you can get kimchi from any supermarket nowadays. This is the one I make at home. I make it every few weeks. On top of the kimchi, I also have some vegetables. So I'll be adding some spring onions, half an onion, and some Napa cabbage, but you can use any type of vegetables you want. So I'm going to chop these spring onions. You want them to be quite chunky. You don't need it to be a fine slice. And then with these chunkier bits at the bottom, I'll split those in half lengthwise so that it's just a little bit less oniony. Now with the cabbage, just thin shreds. So with the onion, same thing. We're going to do thin slices. Last but not least, I'm going to chop the kimchi. Now you see a lot of liquid in the kimchi jar as well. Do not throw that away. Never throw away the kimchi liquid. I keep that liquid and I add it into my soups, I add it into my sauces, and we're going to add it into this batter as well. So I've got plenty of kimchi in this bowl. Now I'm going to add all of these vegetables into the bowl. So my onions, my spring onions, and my cabbage. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the batter, which turns it into a pancake. Now, a staple in a Korean pantry is a specific type of wheat flour that has a little bit of potato starch mixed into it, and that gives these pancakes and a lot of other Korean dishes a really nice chew. We don't have that specific brand of wheat flour, but a very good replacement is just some normal plain flour, and we substitute the potato starch with a little bit of cornstarch, which gives it, again, a really nice small chew. If you don't have any cornstarch, you can just leave it out and just do plain flour. So one whisked egg goes into the pancake. This just helps everything bind together. I'm going to add flour. I'm going to add some cornstarch. This is gochugaru, which is Korean red pepper flakes. They're not that spicy. They're very sweet and a little bit smoky. Absolutely delicious. And I'll add this in as well. I'll add a pinch of sugar because kimchi tends to be quite salty. Sesame oil. This is a Korean brand of sesame oil, which means the sesame seeds are extra toasty and it has a very deep flavor. Just a bit. And then I'll start mixing in some cold water. This is just normal cold water. It's about the same ratio of flour to liquid. That is unless you want it a little bit thicker, a little bit thinner. Now, my secret here is I'm also going to add a little bit of this pickling liquid. I'm just going to push that kimchi down and then pour any liquid that is still in the jar. No matter how many times I make this, I know that the bowl is not big enough, and I always use a different size bowl, and then I have to wash another bowl. Okay, so I can see that this is a little bit too dry, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more water to it, and then continue mixing. This is the texture of the batter that I'm looking for. It's not too thin. It's kind of just enough to hold everything together. And remember, as your pancake cook, all of the moisture from the vegetables are going to make it even thinner. Before I start cooking the pancakes, I'm also just going to add a small touch of pepper, just a little bit, and then we're ready to cook. So I'm going to bring this up to a medium-high heat, and I'm going to fry the pancake off in a little bit of vegetable oil. So my oil is nice and hot. I'm going to add my batter. So I spread the vegetables in quite a flat layer on my frying pan, and then with those little gaps in between the vegetables, I'm just going to pour a little bit of that batter to fill in those edges. Now, while you are frying your pancake, for the first 5 to 7 minutes, do not touch the pan. You don't want to be moving it around. You want a really nice crispy bottom on your pancakes, so just let it sit in the frying pan and be patient. While the pancake is cooking, we're going to mix together a dipping sauce for the pancakes. This dipping sauce is very easy. All we're going to need is a little bit of soy sauce, some vinegar to add a bit of tartness, and then some sugar to balance out both of those ingredients. And then I'll also add some sesame seeds. So as you can see, the edges of the pancake are sizzling. Use your spatula to check the bottom of the pancake to see if it is nice and golden brown on the other side, which it is. Ooh, that looks really good. Now at this point, just before I flip it, I'm going to use a pair of tongs or chopsticks and gently lay out the squid on top. Again, the squid is optional. Now I love these little squid legs because I love seafood, so I'm going to add those in. Make it really look really nice. And now I'm going to flip the pancake. It's a little bit easier with two spatulas, so let me just grab one more. Fingers crossed, because it's brown on the bottom, I'm not going to mess this up. Let's try one first. Oh yeah, woo! Did it! So that's what you want on the other side. A beautiful golden brown, and on the other side, it's not going to need to cook for very long. Once I flipped it onto the other side, I'm going to add a little bit of oil just around the sides to make sure it's really nice and crispy. They use quite a lot of oil to make this in Korea, just so that it's really nice and crispy. So in total, I cooked it on the first side for around 5 to 7 minutes, flipped it, and then because I added the seafood, it takes a little bit longer, another maybe 5 minutes. And now at this point, I can see that the sides and the middle of the pancake are totally set. It is done. Turn the heat off. And then to finish off, I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of sesame seeds on top. And that's it. That is your kimchi pancake. All right, now it's time to taste. I always like the edge pieces because those are the ones that are extra crispy. Dip it in a bit of sauce. That dipping sauce with the vinegar is so nice. The cornstarch adds a really nice texture and slight chewiness to the pancake, and the vegetables are still really nice and fresh, and the kimchi and the squid is perfectly cooked. A really nice weeknight meal. Oh, I could eat this whole thing. But I won't, because I want to know what is your go-to weeknight meal in your home, and what's your favorite way to use up the leftovers in your fridge. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time on Flavour Fridays.